Like the Democrats in America, the Conservative Party over here are floundering and they do not know what to do. And so William Hague, Conservative grandee, has taken to the Times to explain to Kemi Badenoch his 10-step plan to save the Tories. But the thing is, this is not a good plan. And the problem is the essential nature of the Conservative Party itself, rather than any one thing that William has said here. So he was the leader of the Conservative Party until 2001, where he resigned. And he accepts that this is a monumentally difficult job and doesn't know what to do. So he says, well, what should they do? Well, I don't have the complete answer, but here are 10 thoughts addressed to my old party that might lead to a path up the mountain. First, it remains important not to panic. Remember, you're on a cliff edge. If changing leaders repeatedly was a bright idea, the Conservative Party would now be the most popular in the world, because, of course, recently they've been through a slew of leaders, most of which people didn't like. The only one that people did really like was Boris, but he was the worst. He was like a legendary traitor to Britain. And the flakiness of the Conservatives of the last decade or so has definitely been one of the issues. I mean, they must have been through about half a dozen leaders. They haven't got anyone good, basically. And he says, so the next steps have to be enduring and reliable, not another bout of flakiness. That's great, but the problem is the Conservatives have elected someone who is fundamentally herself not very likeable, not terribly competent from what we can see, not very hardworking, not very diligent, and not really the right person for the job because she is an immigrant in a time of anti-immigration. They should have elected Robert Jenrick because he was during the local elections that have just gone on. Jenrick is the only Conservative candidate and like MP in the Conservative area that he is constituency, who actually gained a seat for the Conservatives. Everywhere else was just a complete collapse on every front, but it was in Jenrick's area where he managed to actually gain something. And I don't think that's a coincidence, right? So it's just one of those things that you're the wrong people for the wrong place, in the wrong place at the wrong time for the wrong job. And William Hague's like, yeah, so what we need to do is keep Kemi Badenoch, is what he's saying here. It's like, I think that's brilliant. I don't think that's the way. So anyway, secondly, show you understand how you got here and why people are voting for other parties. I'm not sure the Conservatives do know. That's the thing. I don't think they actually know. He says, the deep frustration of voters with the Conservatives and Labour is completely understandable, given the inability of governments to improve living standards, control immigration, or improve public services. Okay, well, look, the immigration is the reason that living standards and services are cratering, right? And it's not even the ability to control immigration. You can control immigration. You did control immigration. You just decided, turn it on as much as we can. Since 1997, it's been like about 250, 300,000 net in, which itself is abominable. And then the Conservatives under Boris are like, let's make that 1 million. It's like, what are you doing? We want it to be negative. We don't want mass immigration to this country. We don't want foreigners flooding us en masse and taking over the towns and cities. And yet that's what you gave us. It's not about controlling immigration. It's that we never wanted this. And you forced it upon us anyway. And then he says, acknowledge the shambles produced by the Johnson and Truss experiments damage the country and disgrace the party. Liz Truss, right, may not be like the most charismatic person in the world, but she took a step in the right direction and the system punished her for it. And the weak, frail, pathetic Conservative Party were like, oh, well, get rid of her. It's like, you could have stayed the course and things probably would have improved marginally over a few years, but you didn't. You panicked, you got flighty, and you were like, yeah, no, she's out too. And you've allowed the left to make an absolute laughing stock of her. You allowed the left to scalp one of your prime ministers. You were complicit in this. Your party did this. And it's weird that you don't understand that this is a bad thing, right? Again, you don't have to love Liz Truss. You just have to understand that it's not acceptable to give your enemy a scalp. But the problem is you don't even see them as your enemy. You see them as a necessary bulwark against yourselves, which is weird. Anyway, and let's move into it, in fact. Third, avoid the elephant trap of copying Trump. What? Winning? Being successful? Why would we want to avoid that? Look at the Conservatives. Well, look, guys, avoid victory at all costs. Just Jesus Christ. The sister parties of the Tories in Canada and Australia just crashed down into it. Yeah, okay, They have, and you're crashing too. But who's the guy who's not crashing, who apparently is a friend of Trump's, although I have to say I do wonder about the strength of Farage and Trump's friendship, who's winning everywhere in Britain now? Well, it's the Trump of Britain, as you think of him, the far right guy. Maybe the reason the Tories in Canada and Australia failed is because they're piss weak Tories and not because they like Trump. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, Trump's rhetoric didn't help or anything like this. But I'm sure that the Conservatives out there being piss weak and you being piss weak isn't a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence. Anyway, he says, look, one of the things Nigel Farage will most regret is showing so much admiration for the US president. Okay, well, TikTok, let's see when that is. Because at the moment, there was a poll the other day, 65% of people think Farage is just going to be the next prime minister. Like, they think he's going to win. I think he's going to win. Only 17% or something thought it was Kemi Badenoch, if that. I think it was a bit more that thought it would be Keir Starmer, and then a few less thought it would be Kemi Badenoch. But the point is, you're playing with 35%. Good luck. Because most people think two-thirds of people think it's going to be Nigel Farage. So where you get this from, I don't know. But hey, you know what? I want 0 seats. I want your party to be absolutely cratered. So anyway, fourth, make a big, bold argument about where the world is heading and what Britain's place in it should be. Well, good fucking luck. You don't know anything about the world, apparently about the country, and what Britain should be doing. Your view of Britain was as a global way station for every drifter who arrives on our shores that we get to pay for and get to suffer the consequences of literally millions of them coming. What is your argument here? We need to make a big, bold argument. Okay, what is it? While detailed retail policies will be important in any election, a party needs a bigger vision and sense of purpose in which those policies are set. Be clear we're entering a period of dramatic change and we have to get ready for it. Tell people the truth, but upheavals are coming with global conflicts intensifying and AI about to transform the majority of jobs. Argue that Britain has some big opportunities to do things right. Make all next steps consistent with that. Yeah, but what does that tell us about what you want? That doesn't give us a plan. That doesn't describe the country in a way that differentiates it from other countries. All this applies to every country, everywhere, ever, and it has done for all the time. So what are you saying? What should Britain's role be? And you've got nothing. You are a hollow shell of a party masquerading as a patriotic party when all you really are is just power seeking. All this is, guys, how can we fool the public to get us back into power? Enough. We don't want charades, power-seeking charades from the red or blue, there's two cheeks of the same arse. We don't want that. We want something real. You are not something real. Anyway, number 5, give the economy center stage in the party's plans. Oh, good luck. It's not like you've had a great record on the economy, is it? Anyway, so he goes, well, the economic plans of Reform UK are financial daydreaming. Yeah, but the thing is, it was the same with Truss, and she's the only person who had anything to say, which was guys, I kind of would like to reduce taxes, if that's okay. And you were like, boom, no, hell no, get the fuck out, lettuce. We are never reducing taxes, was literally the message the Conservative Party gave the entire electorate, and then you gave it to Keir Starmer, and Keir Starmer was like, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? Rank up those taxes. Oh, just brilliant. Show people they will not be left with the choice between those depressing alternatives. All you do is waste our money as well. You just waste our money. 6. Make education a very big theme. But what are you teaching them? What is the content of the education? And under the Conservatives, 14 years of Conservative rule, wokeism in schools as we know it now wasn't a thing when you came into government. It all happened under your watch. So what are you going to teach them? Well, we're going to teach them how to be woke, extremely woke. It'll be someone like Keir Starmer who actually comes and goes, look, we're not having that actually. we're going to put the woke away. Says Keir Starmer, the Labour Party Prime Minister. Mental. You're like, oh, this is also Labour's weak area. Yeah, but it's even weaker for you. Look at how things have declined under you. It's not under Labour that this happened. This happened under you. And so it's no good saying, well, we're going to make education a big theme. But you're not going to explain how things are going to get better. What are you going to do to education? And it's just going to be, well, more of the same. And I don't want that. Seventh, adopt an approach to immigration that's consistent with those objectives for growth and excellence. Totally out of touch. Explain that this country should welcome brilliant people from home and abroad. But why would we think that you will? Let's assume that there is a cogent argument at this point for letting foreigners into the country, right? And it's grounded in expertise. Well, why is it you let in literally millions of uneducated dependents? 72% of Somalians in this country are in social housing, and the literacy rate in Somalia is 41%. It's really hard to make an argument for a single Somalian living in Britain, let alone thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of them, all at my expense almost. Like, what are you doing? Like, the Conservatives have no credibility talking about immigration. The Boris wave has totally flooded us. Everyone can see it in their high streets. And it's not like we're looking at these people going, well, thank God for all these doctors and engineers and rocket scientists and brain surgeons. They're not. They're basically just freeloaders. We know they're freeloaders. It's like going, well, we should welcome brilliant people. Why would brilliant people want to come here? This country is failing, and you've made it fail. And you're like, guys, we can save this. We can get. I don't think you can. Right? I think Farage is actually right. The brand is broken. We don't want you. You're traitors. And well, we should welcome brilliant people. What? So 1 million plus still a year of your brilliant people, is it? But we will bring an end to illegal immigration and the abuse of the asylum system. 14 years. You had 14 years to do this. You could have been like, that's gone. We're leaving the ECHR. We're leaving these human rights laws. We're going to restructure all of this so they can't be taken advantage of by lefty lawyers. And then instead of them just breaking into the country on small boats, they just get instantly deported and we'll use the Royal Navy to do it. But you didn't. Your party doesn't want this. And even then, it's far too little too late. Sorry. How about saying, look, the Boris wave are going to go home. They're not going to get indefinite leave to remain. We're going to repeal that too. They're going home. No, you can't do any of this because you're a woke liberal and you will not be the party that is elected in future to deal with this. You will not fix this. You are the problem. Anyway, 8th on climate and net zero. Show there's a realistic way forward. Just nuclear. If you're not saying nuclear, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Oh, we need our oil and gas fields. Yeah. But you didn't. Again, the net zero stuff happened under the Tories. So, 9. Revive the best ideas from recent Tory governments for spreading prosperity, like the Northern Powerhouse, which came unstuck through changes of leadership. You don't have good ideas. This is the issue. I mean, yeah, okay, it would be nice to do that, but you've failed in every regard. Is there any reason to think you would actually get this done? No. Someone else could do this, but I don't think you can do this. And then 10th, don't fall into the new trap now opening of opposing anything the Labour government does to improve cooperation with the EU. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. So reverse Brexit. Okay. Oh, don't see every step to cooperate in defence and innovation as a plot to reverse Brexit. The thing is, they are plots to reverse Brexit. Like a bunch of Remainers are in charge. And honestly, I don't agree. And he says, recognise that if we can rely less on the US, we need to work with our neighbours. Well, why would we want to rely less on the US? Like, there's no reason that we do other than things like ideology, where you're like, I just don't like Trump, I just don't like Trump, I just don't like Trump. At future elections, there'll be millions of people looking for a party that is not of the left, but not part of the revolutionary right. I think there are millions of people in Britain who are on the revolutionary right. Like, in the focus groups, I've done videos about it, in the focus groups, in the polling, people are way more to the right than any of their politicians and any of their parties. Like, people want serious things to happen because things are going south. And the Tories absolutely can't fill that need. They absolutely cannot do what is needed for the country in the future. It's not going to happen.